Hey guys, it's Vernie here. Another Tuesday, another Vault video. This is War Within Season 1, Week 7. And we've got the same cast of characters as we did the previous week, so we'll go ahead and just get started. Most of these characters that I don't play are, again, going to only have one delve slot because it takes 20 minutes to get a 616 piece, which is a pretty good deal for an alt you don't really play, but you might want to play later. So if you're into that, I would recommend just do 2 delves a week. 2 tier 8 delves is pretty easy. I've been doing them around 580 on some of these characters until they get some gear. The tank ones you can do a bit lower, they just take a little bit longer. But the mage I think is 590 now and does tier 8 delves pretty easily. So I think coincidentally that's the first character I logged into. Uh-oh, slower loading screen. You don't like it? Not even parked at the vault. God, we're casuals. Um, so not a weapon. We'd love to see some tier. Not a weapon. That's pretty much the only stipulation. No weapon. One slot. Let's go. Hey, it's a trinket. Trinket's okay. It's like a decent trinket, and it has none of the weird gimmicks like the fucking concoction one where you have to jump or you get stunned, which I personally hate that one. So cool. 597. Wow. Mage is on the come up. We still haven't done a single key. The same is true of the warrior and the DH. Sorry, not DH, DK. I don't know why I get them mixed up. Similar letters, I guess. But these guys are both around 600, I think. We still haven't done a single key. Just doing vaults or delves to get a vault. And eventually we will go into keys. But for now, playing the slow game. Nice slow roll. So not a weapon or shield. We'd love to see tier. Tier chest, tier helm. Our trinkets are pretty good. We actually don't really need trinkets either, so... Now, I think I wouldn't mind a chance at a two-handed weapon, so we will stay as arms. Because if we took a two-hander, totally fine. Ooh, hands! That's 3-piece, and I assume we can catalyze 4-piece. I'm sure we have a 4th piece laying around somewhere. That is perfect. Those stats are not amazing, but you know what? It's a tier piece. Ooh. Well, we can maybe catalyze this veteran helm, but that feels kind of bad. Alright, anyway. Potential 4-piece on the warrior this week. I don't even know what it does, but obviously you want it. Tier is always an upgrade. DK, same deal. I think he's slightly less gear than the warrior. The warrior's had a little bit better luck from vaults and delves, so I think he's a couple item levels higher, but they're both around 600. I'm pretty familiar with tanking, so eventually I would like to get in and get tanking. Right now, we've still been focusing on the healers. It's still like decently early into the season. I mean, tier or a weapon. We'd love a two-handed weapon. Not a trinket. You don't really want a trinket. One slot. Oh, crit versus neck. And those stats are awful. Those are terrible stats. You hate to see it. I I don't know if any spec would use this. I know blood is a little less, like they care a little less about their stats, but crit versus terrible. I mean, it is like a 30 something item level upgrade, so we'll take it. 600 now. Not super exciting though. Not excited about that. All right, into the actual characters. We did close to the same level of content as last week. Some of these a little more, some a little less. The druid I just did one key on. So we'll have one, I think it was an 8. So we'll have one, like, is it a 616 or 619 heroic piece? I don't know. Unimportant. It's a heroic piece. It's probably, very low chance it is an upgrade unless it's like a ring with good stats or a cape, What are we hoping for in terms of trinkets? I mean, I don't really care. We'll just stay as Boomkin. It doesn't really matter. I have weapons for both specs already, so who cares? Shoulders? Ah, we have shoulders. That's okay. Right? Yep. Okay, cool. Well, that's what you get when you only do one. Now, if I had done a 10, that would have been something useful, but Tokens it is. We did get a 10 done on the Shaman this week, so that's one more character that'll have a myth piece. Plan on doing one on him going forward every week if I can. And then the Priest I would also like to get into Mythic, just because he's starting to reach the point where heroic gear, I'm one or two heroic raid runs away from being completely done with Crest, and at that point, you have to go into Myth or you have to spam 8s. So the Priest, we did, I think it was a full heroic run, mostly full heroic run. We did like 7 of 8 bosses, so we'll have a heroic raid vault. Let's go ahead and open a shadow. I don't think I need a healing trinket, or do I? Let's just glance quickly at the trinkets. Oh, Coagulum is like kind of mid. Egg would be good. Syringe is okay, but that's healing only. So we'd love a Spy Master just for meme quality. We have like full tier pieces. So I guess Seekron Neck, Rashanon Cape, Spy Masters. We didn't kill Queen, so we don't have Queen in the loot pool. We'll go ahead and open the Shadow. Ooh, okay. Weapon, that's our crafted slot. 616 Mastery Haste Ring, kind of interesting. I don't think I would use this. It's good for Shadow. It's okay for Disc and Raid, but Transmitter is interesting. I mean, I think it's going to be Transmitter. Let me just briefly glance. In terms of healing, I don't think it's, like, amazing, but I think it's okay. It's kind of mid for Disc, but I have a 606 in that slot. It's a nice 10 item level upgrade. I have 4 tokens, so I can wait on a week where I only do 1 activity to take a socket. I think we just take the Transmitter. We have a bunch of spare rings just kind of hanging around anyway, so we don't really need a ring. So we'll take the Transmitter. Sure, whatever. It's an on-use. It could be interesting. I don't know how good it'll be for healing, but screw it. It was 615. That character's getting there. All right, Shaman. So this character did do a 10. We did like 5 or 6 keys. We'll have 2 vault slots, 1 myth, 1 heroic. The 10 was mist or something. We did 2 mist 10s. No changeling, unfortunately, but we did get the mist done. And I believe we timed it. I mean, mist is mist. It's a joke of a key, frankly. So hopefully we get something good. Hopefully it's not a one-handed weapon because we spent crest to upgrade our dagger. Man, a myth trinket would be sick. Myth trinket, myth tier piece. I think that's what we're gonna hope for. We'll go ahead and open his Ellie. Just not a one-hander. Please not a one-hander. Oh, dude. Of fucking course, man. Haste verse. And the stats aren't even good. Ooh. That's a verse crit ring. With a free socket. Well, man, I hate passing up the myth piece. I should have done more 10s, clearly, but we'll take the ring. There's just no point in me taking this when I'm not going to use it. You need a shield for Ellie and Totemic Resto and Raid, so I can't really play a two-hander. So we'll take the ring, and it's definitely a bit of a gut punch, but overall, really good stats. 617. We'll try and get some more 10s done this week on this character. Monk next. We did like 4 8s. Pretty easy. The new talent that Mistweaver got, where when you Thunder Focus T, you can Crackling Jade Lightning, and it counts towards your Fist Weaving healing. That is super interesting because it does a boatload of damage and a boatload of healing. And it's just kind of fun. It's a fun press. You get it like every 40 seconds or whatever with... It's 30 seconds, Thunder Focus. Anyway. Pretty fun. They also improved their damage a little bit. They changed some of the Fist Weaving spells, so they're more useful. So like Heroic Chest, Gloves. I would also take a Sick Trinket, Changeling, Gale. We'll open as Mistweaver. Ooh, Crystal. So we don't need the hero weapon. We've already got one. Crystal is interesting. I don't think it's like amazing, but I think it's like 4 or 5. It's one of the top ones. I know it's not better than like Gale, Changeling, or Sackbrood, but I think it's the best one after that. Yeah, it's like number 5 or 6, so it's pretty good. We'll take it. And we'll replace. I don't know if we'll replace the Coagulum or the Candlestick. TBD. I think the Coagulum is technically a little bit better for healing purposes, so we'll probably just keep that. 612. Slowly getting there. Alright, 2 big characters left. So the Evoker, we did 4 10s, and we did some Delves, just in case we have to take a socket. So we'll have 2 Myth Dungeon slots and 1 completely irrelevant Delve slot. We got a Sackbrood. Was it last week? I think it was last week we got Sackbrood, so our trinket situation is pretty nice. We have a Changeling hero track with Leech. We have a Heroic Spymasters. And we have a Mythic Sackbrood. So trinkets are kind of set. I'd like like Helm or Chest, I guess would be the next biggest pieces. Go ahead and open his Devastation. 2 chances for some big loots. Ooh, Myth Gloves. Ooh, with speed. Interesting. Or Reverse Crit Ring. Well, we definitely don't want the ring. We're taking the gloves. And this is going to give us 5 piece, so we might actually need to like move some pieces around. I don't know if I have anything I can swap. Verse Mastery Shoulders. Loses crit, that's not great. Again, Verse Mastery Shoulders. Well, that's a problem for another day. We might have a piece we can slot in here somewhere. But for better stats, we could optimize a little bit better. But hey, that's a solid upgrade. 626. And we've got some Gilded to upgrade with. So, pretty nice. And the speed is always great. You love to see the free tertiaries. Alright, last character. Paladin. We did do all of our 10s, obviously. We finished all of our portals, actually. We finished City of Threads. That was our last one. Did a guild group. It was extremely easy. Turns out when you run with people who are good, it is not hard to do these keys. And then we also cleared 6 in Mythic Raid. So we did kill Nexus Princess for the first time. We'll release a video on that later this week. I haven't cut it up yet, but I do have the footage. It was a nail-biter kill, all the way into Enrage with Bubble and like 3 people alive. Yours truly included. Oh, why are we in Prot? Okay, let's just double-check our spec before we do anything. So last week, I kind of regret not taking the Rashinon Cape. Our stats changed a little bit because now Lightsmith Avenging Crusader is the BIS build, and it's Haste Crit instead of Haste Mastery. So we passed up the Haste Crit Rashinon Cape last week, which again didn't feel great. But what can you do? In hindsight, I think I should have taken the Rashinon Cape and recrafted my Writhing embellishment onto a belt, and I could have optimized belt stats, or I could have just moved my bracers. My bracers already have it. So I should have just taken the hit there. What we're hoping to see, again, it's going to be the same thing. Seekron Neck, Rashinon Cape. Either of the Haste Mastery rings are pretty good. Changeling, Gale of Shadows. It's kind of it. We have like Myth in pretty much every other slot. Myth, Myth but not maxed, Myth, Myth but not maxed, Myth but not maxed, Myth, 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 Heroic. Our rings kind of suck. I guess we would take Haste Crit Ring from Siege of Borealis or the Haste Master Ring from Grim Batol. So let's see what we can get. Opening is holy. Rip it. Oh, thank you. We are rewarded. I see the neck. I want the neck. Okay. Last week we saw it on Heroic, and if we had just killed the 6th boss last week, that would have been it, but we get it this week. We're so happy with that. That is definitely our biggest upgrade. We'll just look at everything else, but The DPS are going to be so salty with the Myth transmitter. Myth shoulders, but we don't need these. Very sick neck. Got 20 item levels with overall good stats. We have these bracers already. Myth chest, myth belt, and garbage, garbage. Okay, so I mean, obviously we're taking the Seacron neck. That's awesome. That's got to be our biggest upgrade from Raid. I mean, really, we just need rings and we need a trinket. Kind of it. So, oh, it's so gross. Oh, we love it. Almost 632. I think we'll be 632 after some upgrades today, so sick. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Affixes this week looks like it's Devour, so bring your Dispels. Poison Cleansing Totem has been nerfed. It's 2 minutes now instead of 45 seconds. So you might need a little bit of help with this. Bring your Dispels, help your healer, etc. And yeah, we'll be streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/Veronix. I believe we have Mythic Reclear tonight, so feel free to tune into that. And then we have Silken Court Prog all week. Yay, learning to dance. So hopefully you guys had some good vaults, and we'll see you next time. Peace.